If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers. Help us reach that next milestone. This video is going over a 1,000 point list for the Adeptus Custodes using the Talons of the Emperor Detachment. I go over the list with the Army rule and Detachment rule, unit breakdown with stratagems to use, and a general game plan for each unit. No Forge World in this list. If enough interest in these 1,000 point videos, I will make a list including Forge World for each detachment. Now, on to the list. This list is 1,000 points exactly. Our Warlord is a shield captain with the Melta Spear and the Presidium shield, giving him a little bit more threat and 1 extra wound. For our battle line, we have 5 Custodian-Guard with 4 spears, 1 Vexilla with Misericordia in the shield. For our other data sheets, we have 5 Custodian Wardens, 5 of them have Guardian Spears, 1 Vexilla, 3 units of 4 Witchseekers, 2 Psykana Rhinos, each of them have a Hunter-Killer missile. For our allied unit, we have Draxus, who will be leading the Custodian-Guard. Now we'll quickly go over the Army rule and the Detachment rule. The Army rule for the Custodes is Martial Kata. Each time a unit from your army with this ability is selected to fight, select one of the Kata stances. Until that unit has finished making its attacks, the selected stance is active for it and it gains the relevant ability. Dakatari stance, melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have the sustained hits 1 ability. Then we have Rendak stance, melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have the lethal hits ability. A great army rule to boost our melee damage potential. If we'll be wounding on 4+ or less, pick sustained 1. If it's 5s or 6s, pick lethal hits. And then our Detachment rule is Revered Companions. Psykana units from your army gain the following ability. Null Aegis, and it is an aura. While an Adeptus Custodes unit is within 6 inches of this unit, models in that unit have a Feel No Pain 5+ ability against psychic attacks and mortal wounds. All other Adeptus Custodes units from your army gain the following ability. Deadly Unity, and it is an aura as well. While a Psykana unit is within 6 inches of this unit, each time a model in that Psykana unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. Now we'll touch on the Talons of the Emperor stratagems quickly, just because I will be referencing these a lot in the unit breakdown section. Emperor's Executioners, in the fight phase, if the enemy unit is below starting strength, add 1 to the wound roll. Then we have Empiric Severance, and this is if we have a Psykana unit 6 inches within a Adeptus Custodes unit, you get a 4+ Feel No Pain against psychic attacks and mortal wounds, and this is 1 CP. Then Hunt is 1 for 1 CP, and this is just a fallback, shoot and charge stratagem. Then we have Shield of Honor for 1 CP, and what this does is you can protect a Psykana unit within 6 inches, making the enemy have to target a Custodes unit instead of the Psykana unit. But the Custodes unit has to be an eligible target. Then we have Talon Pincer, and this is a really important one for this list, and this is the reactive move if the enemy ends a normal, advance, or fallback move within 9 inches of that Custodes unit. Then we have Talons Interlocked for 1 CP, and this adds +1 to strength and +1 to the AP of your ranged attacks by 1. Now we'll move on to the unit breakdown. We'll start with our Warlord, the Shield Captain with the 5 Wardens. This will be our Warlord unit. The Shield Captain will be able to use Strategic Mastery to reduce the cost of these really good stratagems by 1 CP. And of August 1st, we can now use the stratagems that target multiple units for free, so that is a big upgrade for this detachment. Talon Pincer and Emperor's Executioners are the 2 stratagems I would keep in mind for Strategic Mastery. The others, of course, are still available. These 2 stratagems are important to help keep this unit alive with Talon Pincer and boost the melee damage output with Emperor's Executioners. Especially with Emperor's Executioners being 2 CP makes it an even better target for the CP reduction. The Warden's Living Fortress gives the unit a once per game 4+ Feel No Pain for the phase, and Resolute Will giving the enemy a -1 to their wound roll if the incoming attack's strength is higher than the Warden's toughness of 6. These abilities combined with the Shield Captain being able to use Talon Pincer, that reactive move stratagem for 0 CP, makes this a very crafty yet tough as nails unit. This unit wants to go towards the center objective, clearing out threats to allow the Psykana units in this list to hold the objectives, while this unit either helps hold the center objective from enemy pressure or keeps pushing up the board, leaving the Psykana units plus Draxus to do actions and gain primary. On to Draxus with the 5 Custodian-Guard. It's confirmed Draxus is still fantastic for us, with the only change to her profile in the Imperial Agent's Codex being her Psychic Tempest range attack is no longer in direct fire. A small nerf, but it was her anti-infantry 4 devastating wounds gun Dirge Singer that we really love so much, and Dirge Singer was unchanged. This unit may have to be a bit more aggressive than usual since there's only 2 non-Psykana Custodes unit in this list. Making use of their potent melee and Draxus ranged attacks will be key to victory in this list. The Shield Captain with the Wardens have their job. It's quite simple. Draxus with the Custodian-Guard is much more flexible. Thus, we'll have to perform multiple job roles in this list, primarily attack and scoring primary points. Talons Interlocked will be important for this unit, a near auto use every time we activate her unit in the shooting phase, giving the unit's ranged weapons an extra 1 strength and 1 armor penetration. I could and have gone on about Draxus for much longer. I will throw some of the other slides on the screen. These list more of the reasons why Draxus is so good. Draxus with the Custodian-Guard is, in my opinion, one of the best character combinations we have access to. Sadly, nothing else even compares to her if we're looking for a replacement to make a shooty utility unit. Then we have our 2 Psykana Rhinos. With the Psykana keyword, these 2 Rhinos will be amazing for spreading the 6-inch aura of Null Aegis to the list to give a 5+ feel no pain against mortal wounds. This will also, as laughable as it is, have our most powerful ranged attacks with 100 killer missile each. Talon Pincer and Shield of Honor will make it harder to kill these Rhinos than the opponent may think. It has no base, making it have a large 6-inch aura of Null Aegis and Empiric Severance since you have to measure from the base. Since we can measure from the hull, I would be putting a Witchseeker unit in each Rhino to give the Rhino a 6-inch scout move. Very useful for getting these into good positions to spread the Null Aegis aura. I actually want to use these to hold objectives once I have used the Shield Captain's unit or the Draxus unit to clear the objective, leaving a tough, harder to kill unit on the objective while freeing up our more deadly Custodes infantry to push the enemy into the deployment or off objectives. And then finally we have our 3 units of 4 Witchseekers. 2 of these units will start in the Psykana Rhinos to keep them protected and give the Rhinos that 6-inch scout. The other Witchseeker will hold our home objective. If there's lots of deep strike threats, we may want to use the Draxus unit to hold the home objective instead and scout this unit towards the center of the board. With 2 Rhinos and 3 Witchseekers, we should be able to have the Revered Companions, Aura abilities, Null Aegis, and Deadly units available for most of our army for most of the game. Also giving the Custodes infantry units in the list access to the 4+ feel no pain against mortal wounds with the Empiric Severance Stratagem, which with restriction you need to be within 6 inches of a Psykana unit to use this. The Witchseekers also have the ability to cause a battle shock test on a unit they hit. They have torrent weapons, so getting a hit is automatic. With 3 units, we may be able to cause an actual useful amount of battle shock. Turning off fights on death or -1 damage stratagems is huge. I have many times used the Witchseekers to battle shock a unit I was intending to charge with some of my Custodes infantry. It has made a huge difference at times. Our Guardian Spears are very ineffective when an enemy uses a -1 damage, even an Armor of Contempt to bring the AP down to 1, so being able to stop some of those stratagems with these Witchseekers is kind of handy for our list. On to our final thoughts. This list does lack the damage potential of the 1000-point shield host list on the channel. It makes up for the lower damage output with a much higher scoring potential. With this many units on the board, we will be able to screen and have plenty of bodies to do actions. This may lack the damage of a shield host list. It does still hit very hard, with some fantastic stratagems to use on the list. I hope you enjoyed the video. Next week I will release a 1000 point list for the Auric Champions. I will make some 1000 point lists for the other factions I have, or some Custodians with Forge War lists if the interest is there. Throw it in the comments on what you would like to see next. Like always, thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by.